So Nadine, can you tell us a little bit about your experience and on YouTube?
Well, YouTube's changed a lot recently. In the last 2 years, they started trying to figure out how to make money off, well, what they do. And so we monetize our videos and stuff. We apply through the partnership program. Anybody can apply. You have to have a certain amount of viewers and, well, subscribers, that's what they're called, and it's kind of a viewership, and usually around 1 million hits or so, and then you can apply, and so they monetize your videos, and you make the revenue a portion of the revenue from the ads that run on your videos. And it takes a little bit of time to build up your subscriber base, build up your viewership, but then when you get there, you make pretty good money, and people are making 6 figures. People will be making 7 figures in the next couple years or so. Yeah. It definitely's happened. These are a handful of people, obviously, but the majority is growing, and it is profitable. It is, yeah, it's very profitable.
And your overheads
especially
are low.
For us.
Yeah, and your overheads are low, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you said,
it's really low.
You're paying for your time, right? So
I feel like one of the biggest benefits about it, and again, you guys aren't going to want to hear this, but I don't have a boss. Nobody tells me what to do. So I wake up in the morning and I get to shoot whatever I want. Now, it's my responsibility to make good content. If I produce crap content, nobody's going to want to watch it, and I'm going to trip myself up. But if I keep pushing out videos, YouTube is offering basically 50% of the revenue from the little square ad that's beside my videos. Now, if I'm pushing 50,000 views a day, that seems like a lot and a little. 50,000 views, well, what are you going to get for that? But then if you realize, well, 50,000 views over a 30-day period, I got 1.5 million hits this month. And 1.5 million hits last month and the month before. I'm running at 30 million views online. So when you think about all of those ad impressions, YouTube is extremely happy because I'm driving traffic to the website. The advertisers are extremely happy because their ads are being seen. I'm extremely happy because I get to make whatever videos I want. And it's non-exclusive. We don't have any contracts with YouTube. We can do whatever we want.
Right. So how does this relate to this whole conversation about repatriating the content? To get back to your, I mean, if you have that relationship with YouTube, and if we're in a borderless world, I mean, what does that mean for people who, for instance, in this audience are in the business of helping to fund those projects or thinking about the regulation around those projects? Is there any point to trying to repatriate it, Chantal?
well, I mean, there are shows. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Being Erica's web stuff was on YouTube at one point. It was on YouTube at one point. So there are Canadian production companies that are utilizing American sites like YouTube to, get the word out and publicize.
It was linked up to YouTube.
It was linked up to YouTube.
It had its own website.
Website, right. So there's a certain amount of content on YouTube that is Canadian, but again, it's not defined by regulation. So therefore, it's hard to establish it as being Canadian unless you say, well, that's Canadian because the writer, director, producer, actors were Canadian. But in terms of the content, it's universal. Like it's universal. The content that Nadine and Corey are putting out could be seen all over the world. Like any English-speaking person could watch it and think that's a funny video. So in terms of repatriating, it's difficult to do something like that unless you build up portals, unless you build up websites, unless there's, capital investment and money put into these startup ventures. And I mean, I'm not just saying this because I have one of them, but, until that actually starts to develop itself and we maintain really great working relationships with ad agencies, with production companies, guilds, unions, until they start realizing, hey, it doesn't matter where they find the content. As long as you're driving audiences to that site, then it becomes valuable for the audience, the creator, the advertiser. Like Corey said, it's win-win across the board, but the capital has to be there to create the Canadian YouTube,
Right. Jessie, I just want to pick your brain a little bit, and just in terms of the creative side of this, how does the fact that you're imagining, that multi-platform stuff is going to be baked into what you do, how does that affect, say, the writing process or the story idea, or does it?
You know, it doesn't so far. From my experience, the television show comes first. And the webisodes, you want to think about them at the same time, the whole web content, but it's all leveraging this, the product is the TV show, it's what's making the money. And I'm just listening, and it's what they're doing is a bit different, because I write story, and it's about the content, it's about storytelling, and these videos are something a little bit different, and they cross the world of storytelling and advertising and music video, and it's not the same thing. So I'm not sure, what to make of it. Like, you can make, my understanding, I sort of think along the lines of web series that are being created, and I wonder about, the future of that and how it's competing with television, and I think it's a different product, and they're going to exist simultaneously, and then I don't know how the web series right now are really doing financially in comparison with television. You know what I mean? All the funding, it seems, is in TV, and the web series are a platform to showcase your skills. They're a place to create things and have some creative freedom and experiment. So, but yeah, on being Erica, it was really first and foremost about the show, and then the web series is secondary content, totally to promote it and to satisfy the needs of the people who are going to want to interact and leave comments, and it's a place in a way to experiment too. We had the Bear character in the webisodes was totally just created for the purpose of the webisodes, and then based on her popularity, we brought her into the actual show in the second season.
Could that potentially be a place where you could workshop new ideas? And
definitely, yeah, definitely, yeah.